Hello everyone and welcome back to 7 Days to Die with me, Sure Survivor, where we are back today to do a little tips and tricks episode. We're going to start with the starter quests. So I still hear a lot of people don't actually do the starter quest, they just cancel the quest right away, which I think is mad. You actually get 4 skill points from doing the starter quest, so it's definitely worthwhile doing them, and they are really quite simple to do. So the first one you'll see it's in the top right hand corner is craft a bedroll. So what you'll need to do is just simply gather the plant fibers required, which I believe is 8, might be 10. And you'll see there, you just then click on that one there, craft your bedroll, and then you will just simply follow the steps in the top right hand corner. It will tell you what to do right the way through. You'll craft a stone axe, you will craft some plant fiber clothing, you wear the plant fiber clothing, you craft a bow, you'll craft yourself an arrow, and then you craft a wood frame block, upgrade it, stick a campfire on it. That's basically it. That's your starting quest done. Not only does it basically give you 4 skill points once you've completed that, it also shows you the location of the first trader if you have that on the map that you have. I'm in Navezgane at the moment, so I've obviously got the trader on the map right away. So that's the first tip. Yep, always make sure that you do your starter quests. Okay, so tip number 2, and this one is a really simple one, which I still am surprised that people don't know this, and it comes up all the time that people still don't realise what these bars are for. But at the bottom below your tool belt, you'll notice you've got a green bar and you've got a blue bar. Okay, so what these bars do is the green bar is your food and the blue bar is your health. So basically, as your food depletes and drops and your hunger increases, it will drop down to the bottom towards the left hand side, and the first bar will drop from the right into the middle. Right, okay. Oh, there's a zombie here, and I'll show you. This is a perfect opportunity to show you how the other bar works, which is the purple bar. Oh, there's a couple of guys here. Right, okay, so if I just... Shall I punch you to death? Oh, you'll take a bit of a beating, mate, won't you? Can you take a right hand? So you notice there, now on the above the tool belt, you'll see that a small amount of purple has come onto the bar, and once that reaches the top of the bar, that means that you'll level up, and as you go on through the levels, obviously it will level up slower and slower, but that just basically shows you your XP, your food and your water, which is quite handy to have on there. Just a little note to say that the purple bar, when you die, once you lose your jacket that's on the left hand side, once you do that, you get an XP penalty which will turn your bar red a certain amount. Then once your red goes back all the way to the bottom, it'll then become purple again from where it was. So it can turn red, but don't be alarmed by that. It's just probably because you've died. And that is tip number 2. Okay, tip number 3. So this one I'm just going to quickly show you. I am near the trader. I'm going to go into Trader Joel's, pop up his stairs, and when you do go into the trader, make sure, especially if you're early game stage, have a look in his inventory and see if he has got any cobblestone rocks, which he has, as you can see there. And as people will know, in early game stage, you'll make your base out of flagstone. It costs 4 cobblestone rocks to make 1 flagstone block, and it's just incredibly cheap. So the cobblestone rocks here, you can see there's 1,000. If I buy all of those, it would cost me only 200 Duke's Casino coins. So I mean, it's next to nothing. You could loot the trader and get that much coin, and that's just going to allow you to make a lot of blocks to start your base. So it's an ideal little hint. So that's tip number 3. Tip number 4 is feathers. So as almost everybody that has played this game before knows, the most abundant source of feathers in the game is from birds' nests. So if we just search this bird's nest here, you'll see you'll get 4 feathers from that bird's nest, and also an egg, which is handy for making your bacon and eggs and cakes and things. But if you actually break this down, you'll notice you'll get an additional 2 feathers. And you know, that makes a big difference when you accumulate how many bird's nests you're going to find in the world. So that's one place you can get your feathers from. Another place you get your feathers from would be from a chicken. And if you spec into the animal tracker perk, which I normally always do. Only need 1 point into that ability, and what it will do is it will allow you to track the small animals when you crouch down. You often find chickens within the world in most of the biomes, and they give you quite a lot of feathers from getting those as well. And I'm going to show you quickly another tip to get feathers. So we are at the utility cell tower 2, and if you ever spot this POI in game, it is a feather mine basically. So outside of this POI, you've got 3 vultures right there. You've got to be quite careful because obviously vultures can be quite dangerous, but you've got 3 vultures right there. You've got a vulture sat on top of that little tank inside. And if I just go into God mode right now and I just go in here, you'll notice there's another vulture spawns in there, another one spawns in there, another one spawns in right here, and another one spawns in there. If I go up to the top, excuse me, Mr. Vulture, another, I think it's 2 or 3 spawn from the top. So you could end up with how many feathers from this one particular POI. It's an incredible place to find early game, especially when you're using a bow. It is just a brilliant POI to come across if you ever go in there. I always go in and get the feathers, and you end up getting a whole ton of feathers from this particular POI. Tip number 5. So with this tip, what it basically is when you pick up low-level tools, for example, like the iron sledgehammer, claw hammer, wrench, and also the wire tool, when you scrap these down, they give you quite a fair amount of iron, as you can see. So you gain quite a lot of iron from those. They don't sell for anything hardly at all, so there's no point in actually selling them to the trader. And if you've got a higher level tool yourself than that, then you might as well just end up scrapping them down, then keeping them in a storage box within your base or whatever. Scrapping those down can give you quite a lot of iron you can stick into your forge or whatever it is you need that particular iron for. Tip number 6. So with this tip, it's just a very, very simple one. It's just, I always wear a college jacket when I'm in game, and the main reason for this is it gives you a plus 10% run speed. Always makes it easier for you to get away from any zombie attacks or any like animals like bears or wolves. It just makes it a little bit easier for you to get around in POIs. That 10% buff can mean a difference between life and death. So the college jacket, as well as adding a cold resist of 10, and a heat resist isn't very good, but the run speed, that extra 10% does make quite a lot of difference, especially in early game. Tip number 7. So with this one, it's quite a simple one. Again, the clothing pocket mods. So these particular ones here, they go onto your clothing that you wear, like for example your shorts or your jeans or your tops or your coats. And not a lot of people still use them. So early game, this is the one that you'll use, which will be the clothing pocket mod, and this is the resources it takes. So it's only 2 leather, 1 duct tape, 15 cloth, and 1 sewing kit. If you're lucky enough to find a book which allows you to unlock the double pocket mod you can craft, it's double the amount of resources, but of course you get double the amount of pockets. So all you want to go ahead and do is stick that onto your items. So as you can see there, if I click on this one here and click modify, I can then stick on my pocket mod. Okay, that's that one there on that particular one. And then if I click on my jeans here and modify that, and I can stick my double. So that one there will give you 2, the other one will give you 1. You can craft those yourself, you don't have to find them. And the actual ones that I've got on the college jacket there, just the normal clothing pocket mods, you can craft those really early game, and they don't really take that many resources, and it will help with your encumbrance early on. Tip number 8. So in this one, we're going to look at selling goods to the trader with and without mods. So it's really, really important that if you have surplus mods in your base, in your storage boxes, please make sure you add them to goods before you sell them to the trader, because the difference is quite substantial. So for example, you can see I've got a shotgun just here that I have modded with a rad remover and a duckbill mod, and I've got a same tier shotgun, duckbill mod and a rad remover, and separately they sell for 597 dukes, but if you modify them onto the weapon, which requires exactly the same amount of materials, you will get 191 dukes from selling it all together modded. So it does make quite a lot of difference, and I still see people in game constantly when I watch videos, and they'll sell it all separately without putting the mods on the weapons, and that counts for armor, guns, anything like that you can actually mod. Even if you're not going to use it as it would be, just make sure you stick your surplus mods into the things before you take them to the trader and sell them, because you will get a massive amount more coin than you would if you sold it all separately. Tip number 9. So this is another selling to the trader tip. This particular one here is to do with iron and junk turret ammo. It's quite a well-known one, but I still see people struggling for coin, yet they've got a surplus of iron, so they've got an iron node near their base or under their base that they're mining frequently, and they have a surplus of iron, stacks of 6,000 in their storage crates, yet they don't have enough coin to be able to buy what they want, or say if they're looking to get a gyrocopter or whatever it might be. One of the easiest ways to get money easily is to convert your iron into junk turret ammo. So the robotic turret ammo, if you have say 3,000 iron arguably, which is half a stack, it will sell for 600 dukes. But if you convert that 3,000 iron into junk turret or robotic turret ammo, it will then sell for 1,800. So it's 3 times more value when you convert into junk turret ammo. Yes, it does take a while to craft, but you can just craft that on one of your workbenches or up on yourself when you're just running around, and it is a good way to make easy money basically. Tip number 10. So this one here is just to basically give you an idea, because so many people don't spec into this particular perk, but I do always, and I think it's really well worth it, and it only requires 1 point. So you go into your skills tree, you click intellect, you go into daring adventurer. You can see it's open, it's in stage number 1, which is looter, and it says risking your neck every day has its advantages, get an additional choice for quest rewards and 5% dukes. So when you do a quest for the trader, you'll get an additional choice that you can choose, rather than just having the choices available. You will get an additional one. So sometimes it could be the difference between you get something crap like, I don't know, say painkillers and some canned food, and it might end then thrown a low level shotgun or something for you. So it is really well worth having it, and the higher tiered you go up, basically the more choice of things you're going to get and the better the loot you're going to get from the trader. So it's definitely well worth specking into that, even if you just do the 1 point. Tip number 11, dog food. Whenever you're looking through kitchens and in POIs and you see a can of dog food like this here, it gives you 10 food and 5 health, so it's okay, you know, and you just knock it down. It's not the best food in the world, but don't do that. Always save your dog food, and there's one simple reason why, is because you're going to need it to make Grandpa's learning elixir, which is this here. And what that does is it gives you plus 20% XP gain for a duration of 4 minutes. And what you can do with that is you can rather use it like I do to upgrade your base. So when you're upgrading your base, you'll improve your game stage much more quickly. You get XP much more quickly. There's the other items, by the way, that you'll need to craft the learning elixir. So it's not like things that are untoward that you don't find within the world. And what I'm going to quickly do is I'm going to quickly put down a rebar frame just here. I'm going to put down another rebar frame just here. And I am going to upgrade one of these rebar frames. And that gave me 480 experience points. And then I'm going to use my learning elixir, which, as you can see, the 4 minutes has ticked up on that buff on the left hand side. And then when I click that now, it's going to give me 496. So if you're improving a whole base, what you're going to want to do is get yourself loads of these learning elixirs, and you'll quite quickly level up, even if you are quite high level as well. So you'll quite quickly level up. So make sure you do not eat or throw away your dog food. It is a very important item within the game. Tip number 12 is all about thirst. So basically, a lot of people will run around the map when they're a little bit thirsty, trying to find water. I know it's not a big deal, but it's just to break the myth that once you get your bar down to the bottom, you instantly die. That does not happen in this game. It does take quite a long time for you to actually die from thirst or starvation. So if I just quickly show you here, you can see on the bottom left hand corner I have got a debuff, which is flashing red, which basically means I'm very thirsty. If I click on my character here, you will notice if I click on him, you'll see he's severely dehydrated. So this one here, when I click on it, it will tell me that I need to find something to drink and that my health and stamina are recovering slower and my stamina is lowered by 13.3%. That is basically it. So what will happen is over a long period of time, your health will tick down by 1 each time. Of course, eating food will help combat this. Taking painkillers will help combat this. So it's not something that's actually going to kill you in the game unless you just stand still for, I don't know, maybe an hour in real time. Then you could possibly die, but when's that ever going to really happen? So when you are severely dehydrated, which doesn't happen often, I know, but it's just to bust that myth that it kills you instantly. It really doesn't. It does take quite a while for you to die of dehydration or starvation. Tip number 13 is about nodes. So back in the day, a lot of the time, Alpha 15 and before Alpha 15, these nodes here, you mine them. They looked a little different to what they do now, but you mine them on the surface and then you took away the resources, and that was common knowledge. But people still play the game where all they'll do is they'll mine the node like this. Should have chosen auger to show you this tip really, but yeah, they'll mine the node just like this, and of course, as you can see, that's giving me nitrate, it's giving me stone, it's also giving me experience, and then they'll just vanish, go to find another node. But it does say to you, it even says to you at the bottom above your tool belt that there's more below the surface. So if you mine down on this, this will open up more nitrate and it will go deeper and deeper and deeper. Not only that, what it also gives you is around where the nitrate is, there will be sand and stone. So you can just quite easily dig that up with a shovel. It gives you good sand, good stone, and it also lets you know where the node is going underneath the ground. This also works with iron. It also works with all the others like shale. Wherever you are in the world, it will still do the same thing. It will still go deep down into the ground. Some nodes are better than others because you might have one side by side. I've actually had one before where I've had iron, coal, and nitrate all within the same little area, which was absolutely brilliant for a mine. But yeah, make sure you dig down once you remove the nodes from the surface. Tip number 14 is forge steel from vending machines. So when you come across a vending machine like this and you think, oh, I can't interact with it, I can't buy any drinks, I can't buy any food, don't just walk on by from it, because you can actually break these down. When I do start and break it down, you will notice that I'm level 1, so it's not good, but you can see straight away you get forged iron, you get forged steel, you get mechanical parts. So there's few places in the game you can get forged steel from. So this is one of them. There are a few others, but it just gives you an idea that if you do want to make soap from forged steel, you don't have a crucible, it is possible to still get forged steel from somewhere, yeah. So make sure with the vending machines, you don't just walk past them, you do break them down, because they do actually give you quite good resources. So the last tip of the episode is basically about main loot. So the main loot in this POI is downstairs in the basement. We have got a job from Trader Joel to do a fetch quest for him. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to get the main loot first before we do the quest, simply because, you know, it's not like you're having to double loot the whole thing. But if you start learning where the main loot is in a POI, you can, especially when you do a quest, you can quickly nip in there, grab that main loot, come back out, activate the quest, do the whole POI as you normally would. So you don't miss out on experience in the game, but you also get the main loot within the POI twice, and it's a lot quicker and more effective. So what I'm going to do is we're going to leave this icon for now, and I know that the main loot in this POI, there's going to be a few zombies though, is down in here. Hopefully they're going to help me to clear this door. Just quickly open this one up. Come on, you guys. Oh, here we are. There they are. Right, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get out my shotgun. Just going to rinse these guys. Reload him. Right, so as you can see, we are into the POI in a bigger way. You can even wrench this fridge apart here. So that's just going to give you a few more resources. Like I said again, good for early game. So into the POI. Here we are, here's your main loot. So you could just main loot all of this. We'll just quickly do the reinforced chest. So you can see that one there's been looted. We'll then go back out once we've grabbed all of that main loot and anything else you want in the POI. Reactivate that POI. Oh, Vince is coming out, he wants a piece. So of course the door will be back on, all the zombies will be back in there, but that just allows you to go back in again and get that main loot. And then do your trust quest, whether it's a fetch, whether it's a clear, and go back to your trader and also get your reward for doing that one there. The main loot one was an idea I had back along for another series. So I actually did a whole series on the main loot. So you'll notice if you go on my actual channel, you'll see there's a main loot easy series on there. It goes from episode 1 all the way up to episode 10. There's 4 POIs on each one. It tells you how to get the main loot really easy in every single one of those. So I'll leave a link at the end of this video to that particular series. If you enjoyed this tips and tricks video, please do leave a like. If you would like to join me for more single videos like this and for more series, subscribe to the channel and you won't miss anything. If you enjoyed this one, I'm sure I'll see you in the next one. Thank you for watching.